Yo, what's up, my wolf pack? Alpha of the pack right here. And today, in this video, I'm gonna be talking about the idea of a fairy tale video game, yo. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but I got the fairy tale soundtrack playing in the background, right? And hopefully, I don't get a copyright strike because I know that in my love for fairy tale video, I had the fairy tale soundtrack playing pretty loud in the background. Thankfully, I never got a copyright strike on that. But these days, YouTube is wilding out. They're just handing out copyright strikes for little to no reason. So I'm hoping that that doesn't happen to me because I'm not gonna feel like doing this video again. But anyway, jumping right into this, I've always wanted a console-based fairy tale game, right? And I know there has been some fairy tale games, but the thing is, those are all Japan based, bruh. There hasn't been any fairy tale game that came to America, at least not that I know of. And the fairy tale games that I have seen, the few that I have seen on YouTube, they're all in Japanese, bruh. And the thing is with those fairy tale games, they're all arcade style, uh, computer browser, and 3DS games, bruh. There's no main console fairy tale game. And ever since I first started watching Fairy Tail, bruh, I was like, I would really love it if this anime got like a console game. If a Fairy Tail game was made for like the PS4 or the Xbox or something like that, you know what I'm saying? That would have been really cool. And I still want that to happen. And it uh it doesn't even have to be an original story. I mean, it would be cool if you're a mastermind guy with a gaming company and made a fairy tale game and came up with a whole new original story for the game to go on. You know, if he came up with a whole new original story for fairy tale with the game. But if that wasn't to happen, you can easily just make a game following the main story. You know, like how the millions of Dragon Ball games follow the main story over and over again. There can easily be a console fairy tale game that follows the main story. You know, first, we start off the game, following Lucy around or playing as Lucy, you know, prior to when she joins Fairy Tale, she encounters Bora and his goons and all that. Then Natsu shows up, and we can just play as Natsu taking out Bora's thugs and then taking out Bora himself. You know, it could be like something like that. You know, and then we'll start getting into the real stuff like the Phantom Lord arc. You know, we could get a fairy tale game following the main story like that, where we start off we start off at a specific arc and just we continue downward like that. You know, just like how Dragon Ball games do. Or I've recently, I've been playing a lot of Attack on Titan 2, and that game is fantastic. It does a great job at following different sections of the story, and I honestly think Fairy Tale game could easily replicate that. The thing is, with the Attack on Titan 2, um, you have the option to play as your own original character. Now, I'm not saying a fairy tale game um, has to include a custom. Wow, I'm not saying the fairy tale game has to include um, an OC, but personally, I enjoy games that includes OCs where you can create your own character and experience the story through their eyes. Cause to me, when I get to create a character, it's like I'm there in the world and I'm experiencing the story, and I'm experiencing the story through my character's eyes. It feels like I'm there, and I really love games that includes OC. So not that the fairy tale game has to do that, but I personally believe it'll be a lot cooler if we could have our own character and we could join the guild. You know, probably around the same time Lucy did, and we could fight alongside Natsu and other fairy tale members against Phantom Lord and all the other dark guilds and all the other crazy stuff that goes on. I think that'd be really cool, man. And in reference to Attack on Titan 2, one thing that bothered me was, well, you can build friendships with the cast characters. You could build friendships with just about everyone who has ever made an appearance in Attack on Titan. The one thing that bothered me about the game is that you couldn't build anything beyond a friendship. And in a fairy tale game, I would like it if they somehow incorporated that. I would like it if they somehow incorporated in the game that your OC will be able to build relationships, friendships, and stuff with the actual characters, or build something even beyond a friendship with the actual characters. Because seeing how that wasn't an option in Attack on Titan 2, I think that would be a really cool feature to include in a fairy tale game. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how I feel personally. But yeah, man. Uh, there wasn't really much I have to say besides that. Just that I would really love a main console fairy tale game, for the PS4 or the Xbox, and that it didn't even have to include an original story. It could just follow the main story. You going from the Phantom Lord arc to the Galuna Island arc. I probably had that all backwards. What came? Hold up. What came first? What came first? The Galuna Island arc or the Phantom Lord arc? I can't remember. Oh God. Anyway, you can just go down the timeline, in order. Not like how mess up like I just said it, but it could be something cool like that, man. And it wouldn't have to include an OC. You could just play as the main cast. But personally, I think it'd be cooler if it did include an OC because I think it'd be more fun that way. Get to teach your characters different moves and stuff. But yeah, man, I think it'd be really cool if a Fairy Tale base game came out. You know what I'm saying? And if it was just like how I described it, I know I didn't describe it all that well, but I think it'd be really cool if a Fairy Tale game came out, yo. But maybe it will one day. Probably when the PlayStation 5 comes out. Hero Mashima will be like, oh, we have to make a Fairy Tale game. Hopefully. Oh, that would be a dream come true, yo. I love Fairy Tale, man. I don't think there's anything else I talk about more when it comes to anime related stuff besides Eden Zero. I don't think there's anything I talk about more than Fairy Tale, you know. And but yeah, man, that's all I gotta say. Uh, peace out, my little pet. Your alpha has spoken. I just wanted to share a little idea I had about a fairy tale game, you know. But yeah, man, that's all I gotta say. Peace out, my little pack. Your alpha has spoken.